Hey guys, it's Kurt from Parade the Gospel, and I'm just about to show you guys what it's like to hand out the exit movie flyers. I'm going to go door to door, and we got low light. It's dark outside. It's about 8:53 at night right now. And I'm also trying out my GoPro camera for the first time. So I'm not sure how this will turn out, being low light conditions. I did pick a spot where the lighting is pretty decent. Got street lights and stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to see everything. Now, if you guys remember, the exit movie, that's Ray Comfort's movie, one of his movies that he made. It shares the gospel message, and that's the important thing. And I made some flyers out, and I have another video on that, so you can go back and check that out if you have not already. But to recap, basically what I just said, it's a movie from Ray Comfort, has to do with suicide. It's a big issue in the area, and yeah, it just offers a great springboard into the gospel message. Now, the left one here is the one that I made up originally, and the one on the right here is the newer version. You can see the one on the right underneath the appeal of suicide. It says free 39-minute movie. I just thought that was maybe necessary, because people might see this and be like, oh, a 2-hour movie? Well, I don't have time for that. If you tell them that it's 39 minutes, well, you know, that might just pique their interest a little bit more, because they have the time now. Maybe some other minor changes, but yeah, and again guys, if you want the file for this, you can get that. Just email me at paradethegospel@gmail.com. And of course, you can change your email address on there. I have questions. Contact burdenoflovewisconsin@gmail.com if anybody has any questions. What else? I think there was something else and I just forgot what it was. Hopefully I'll think of it later. But yeah, so before you go out and do this, you want to make sure that you're prayed up. I've already done that. I like to leave a little bit earlier. I mean, it's almost 9 o'clock right now, but you know, it's just the way things ended up being tonight. Also, when you print these off, this is cardstock paper. You just punch a hole in the corner and use a rubber band, and it's all set for you, ready to go. To hang them on doors, or you can just have them loose like this one on the right here, and just put them in between doors. You know, open up the first door and just throw it in there, or maybe hang it in between the doors, or wherever you can find a place to put it. So if there's anything else I need to say, I don't think so. But yeah, again, I'm using my GoPro camera, this little tiny thing right here. I got it on 1080 60 frames per second, and then also the wide angle lens. So we're going to see how that looks. I'm not really sure yet. I haven't really tested this out outside yet, especially at nighttime. So yeah, let's head on out. So I'm all set. I got my evangelism bag down here, and I got a bunch of the flyers in here, all rubber banded up and ready to go. Now, if I haven't told you guys already, one of the awesome things about this is that, you know, if people stop you, well, first I'll say this, that this is an indirect way of sharing the gospel. And what do I mean by indirect? I mean that the gospel message isn't on here, so it's not directly sharing the gospel. It's indirect. So if they watch the movie at theexitmovie.com or search for it on YouTube and watch it there they will hear the gospel message, and it's presented brilliantly well. If you haven't seen this yet, if you haven't seen it, I actually would suggest that you go check it out. It's really good. But yeah, we're gonna do this. So let's go. But I was going to say though, that if somebody would like happen to stop you, and maybe you're just kind of afraid to do something like this, well, it makes it a lot easier knowing that you can just tell them, yeah, I'm just trying to spread awareness of this free movie. It has to do with suicide. It's obviously a big issue in the area, so I just wanted to offer some people hope. You know, just something like that. What else was I going to say? There's something else, but I can't think of it right now. So yeah, I'm walking with my GoPro camera in my hand. I don't have the headset or the chest strap or anything like that. So it might be a little shaky, and I apologize. So hopefully this shows up good enough. And I'm only going to have one hand free, so hopefully that won't be too bad. So I'll try to grab one here, or a couple. But yeah, just walk up to the door and boom, there it is. Yeah, guys, it's really easy, and I would also suggest too that you go with a friend, especially if you're really nervous about doing something like this. It makes it a lot easier. And of course, it might be better to go, I don't know if anybody's living here. Well, I see some pumpkins in the back. So yeah, door handles like this. You can either open up the front one and put it on the inside handle, or just put it in there like that. But yeah, I was going to say that it's better to leave at an earlier time, because you know, creeping around at this time at night doesn't look too good. But 9 o'clock isn't too bad. I'm trying to get this rubber band, so. Yeah, you definitely want to use cardstock paper. That's what works. I mean, if you want to use rubber bands in your way, otherwise it's just gonna rip. And you can even put it on the mailbox handle or the hook like that. And also, very important, do not put it in the mailbox. That would be illegal. So don't do that. Another thing too is, if you plan on doing this, you can get yourself a map of your town or city, and whatever streets that you've gone down and left these, you might want to highlight it or mark it in some way, so that you know that you've done it. Because sometimes after a while you can kind of forget. So I'm going to cross here. Wait for this. Oh, no, he wants me to go. But yeah, this is pretty easy. And again, suicide is an issue that affects so many people. Even if you're not directly, someone's not directly affected by it, certainly we all know someone who's affected by things like depression, or maybe even suicide or suicidal attempts. So this is just one tool in the too big of ways to share the gospel, directly or indirectly. And there you go. I don't know how much more I'm going to record. It's kind of self-explanatory at this point now. Yeah, I think I'll just stop the recording here. but maybe I'll try out another area. There's actually another area that is maybe better well lit, just in case you guys might not be able to see this very well. So maybe I'll head on over there. Well guys, while I'm driving off to the next area that's really well lit, I just want to mention something before I forget. But again guys, if you are out doing this and maybe you're a bit nervous, I mean I'm nervous just by myself right now, but go out with a friend or grab a couple of friends. I mean, you can, you know, pick a side and just be by yourself on each side, or you can just walk together and talk and fellowship. It's great. It's a lot easier that way, I found. The other thing too is, again, if somebody sees you doing this, just simply tell them, hey, this is a movie on suicide and just trying to raise some awareness, and it offers people hope. Just really simple. And if you're bold enough, and you know, by all means, mention that it's a Christian film. It might even open some doors to share the gospel. So those are just a couple ideas if you should choose to do this. I mean, obviously this is, again, just one idea. So alright, well, I'll catch you back over at this new area. And I'm not going to do too much more because, again, it's pretty self-explanatory at this point. But again, I mean, you can cover your whole city if you get enough printed out. Granted that, you know, the paper isn't that expensive, but the ink can be. I have a friend, fortunately, who used to own a ink cartridge refill store, and he literally has a lifetime supply of ink, and I don't think that's an exaggeration. I mean, just the other day, about a week or two ago, I went over to his house, and he lives kind of further away, so it is a drive to get over there, so I can't do it too often. But printed off 600 pages, and each page, of course, can have 4 flyers on them. So 600 of them. And whenever we ran out of ink, just refill it back up. So yeah, I mean, he's got so much ink there. Just all I gotta do is supply the paper, and paper's not that expensive. You can buy the cardstock paper for pretty cheap. So, all right, I'm not sure how well this is gonna show up. I mean, I know there's some street lights and stuff. Again, I'm testing out my GoPro camera in low light conditions for the very first time. No idea if you can even see anything right now, but we're almost there. So I'm gonna stop and film once I get there. So we're here. And I just wanted to mention something real quick, but it might be wise to bring some dog spray, just in case. I mean, you never know. But guys, be aware of your surroundings. That's very, very important, especially if you're out here at nighttime like I am. Again, I shouldn't be out this late. I'm kind of pushing it just a little bit, but just be aware of your surroundings, because again, you never know. You know, trip hazards and things like that, especially at nighttime or even during the day. You never know if a dog might be lurking around the corner or something like that. So, all right, I'm just going to go in here real quick. Not going to film a whole lot. Again, self-explanatory at this point. But over here, it's nice and well lit. Now, I got some of the ones here that do not have the rubber bands on them. So what you could do, just leave them by the door. Or kind of put it under something like that. And there you go. So there you go, guys. I think I'm gonna go do some more off camera. If you guys have any questions, and if you want the file for this, then let me know and I'll send it your way. Again, email paradethegospel@gmail.com. I'm gonna go find a different neighborhood. There's actually one I wanted to do earlier today that I was thinking about. So yeah, questions or anything, comments, leave them down below and I will get back to you. God bless you guys. Hey guys, sorry I'm not done yet. This is the bonus part of the video. But so I was telling you before, I was at my friend's house and we printed off a bunch of the sheets of paper with the Exit Movie mini flyers on them. Well, I actually had 600 of them, and times that by 4, you have 2,400. That's how many we printed off. And I cut them all out, as you can see right here. I still have probably maybe a stack of like that much more, something like that at a friend's house, because he was helping me cut them out. Now you're going to notice that this one looks a little bit different than that one. I had to take out the blue and replace it with red, as you can see, because we're having some issues with the printer. It's kind of hard to explain. I took out the underline too underneath the exitmovie.com, as you can see right here. I'm just having some printer issues, so well, whatever. I still wanted to keep, you know, some color in there because I thought it would just pop a little bit more. Not necessary, but I like it that way. I wish I could just keep it this way, but I was having too many issues. But yeah, the other thing too, to save on ink, I think we only replaced the ink cartridge like one time. To save on ink, you can do something called fast print. It's in your printing options. You have different qualities of print jobs that you can do. If you do fast print, man, that thing just flies out of the printer, and it definitely saves on ink. And that's still a pretty decent job right there. I think that looks good, don't you? I mean, it doesn't have to be like super crisp. And I mean, all the information is there. All the necessary information is there, and that's all you need. You don't have to spend thousands of dollars on some really spiffy looking thing like I mentioned before in the other video. I mean, if you want to do a better print job, you can, but it's going to take a lot longer too, by the way. I think we tested out like the best print job that you can do, and it took like, I think it was like almost a minute just to print off one page. And can you imagine doing 600 pages with that? I can't, so... yeah, so I just wanted to share that with you guys. Actually, I think I still have video footage of it coming out of the printer at super blazing speeds. So I wanted to film that because I wanted to make a different video on, you know, me printing all that stuff off. And, of course, you know, thanking my friend Brad for lending me his ink that he has, his lifetime supply of ink that'll never run dry. So, all right, you guys. Well, again, questions, comments, whatever. God bless you guys. Leave those below. And God bless. All right, bye. Go. It's like 5 seconds a page. And print off like, let's see, 1,200.